Before we begin, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. The story plunges us into the scorching, unforgiving landscape of Afghanistan. The air is thick with heat and the smell of diesel. In the distance, the crackle of radio communication is a mess of static, broken signals, and frantic voices that sound like a cell phone struggling for a bar in the middle of nowhere. Amidst this chaos, we meet our protagonist, a man known simply as 81. While the world around him is on edge, 81 is the picture of cool. He's leaning against a military transport, trading barbs and jokes with his fellow soldier. Among the group is his brother, his literal and metaphorical partner in arm. Their bond is unbreakable, solidified not just by blood, but by matching tattoos on their forearm, a symbol of their shared destiny. As they work on a stalled vehicle, the mood shifts. His brother grows somber, looking at the horizon. He talks about how they've traded their youth and their dreams for a life of sand and lead. 81 tries to deflect with humor, but his brother is serious. He brings up the Ranger Assessment Selection Program, RASP. He wants them to level up. He wants team goals until the very end. 81 scoffed, pointing at a dusty mirror. Look at us, brother. We aren't 18 anymore. We're old, we're ugly, and we're tired. But the power of persuasion is a heavy thing. Driven by his brother's vision for a better future, 81 finally relents. Then, the world ends. A deafening explosion rips through the air. The ground heaves like a dying animal. In an instant, the base is transformed into a slaughterhouse. Soldiers are picked off like targets in a carnival game by an unseen, overwhelming force. 81 sprints back, screaming for his brother, but a blast throws him through the air. When he opens his eyes, the world is a blur of red and gray. A jagged piece of shrapnel is buried deep in his thigh. He drags himself upright, witnessing a scene straight out of a horror film. His teammates, his friends, scattered across the sand. He finds his brother, but there is no saving him. As the life fades from his brother's eyes, 81 is left with a hole in his soul 2 years later. The scene shifts from the desert heat to the biting chill of the Colorado mountains. 81 is on a bus, surrounded by hopefuls and veterans alike. They are headed to the Ranger training base, a place where identities go to die. Upon arrival, a drill sergeant with a voice like grinding gravel delivers the welcoming speech. No phones, no wallets, no past. From this moment on, you have no names. To the instructors, they are just numbers on a menu. 81 is officially dubbed Candidate 81. Because of his legendary combat record, he is immediately appointed as team leader. The lead sergeant stands before them, his eyes scanning the crowd like a hawk. He tells them they are the first responders of the nation. For the next 8 weeks, they will be pushed beyond the brink of physical and mental collapse. They will be fried in their own grease until only the strongest remain. The grand finale of this torture? A 24-hour simulation known as the Death March. The name alone is enough to make a lesser man turn back. As the weeks pass, we see the brutal reality of the training. Men drop like flies, their spirits broken by the relentless pace. But 81 is a machine. While others are gasping for air on the mountain runs, he is a blur of motion, miles ahead of the pack. His commitment isn't just professional, it's pathological. He isn't training to be a ranger, he's training to outrun his ghost. The sergeant asks who among them has tasted real war. A few men share stories of skirmishes and close calls, but the sergeant remains unimpressed. Then his eyes land on 81. 81 speaks of his time with the Spartans. A heavy silence falls over the camp. Even the sergeant looks as if he's seen a ghost. Later, over a meager dinner, the whispers begin among the other candidates. The legend of 81 is revealed. He supposedly earned a Silver Star for carrying his dead brother 16 kilometers back to base through enemy territory. The men look at him with awe. 16 kilometers? That's like running a half marathon through a war zone with a grown man on your back. By week 6, the training turns bloody. The psychological toll is mounting. 81 is plagued by night terrors, reliving the explosion in Afghanistan every time he closes his eyes. During a final week test involving underwater durability, 81 pushes himself too far. While other soldiers surface for air, 81 stays submerged, his mind drifting back to the moment his brother died. The trauma paralyzes him under the water, and he loses consciousness. He has to be dragged out and resuscitated. His teammates start to whisper. The legend is glitched. While the soldiers focus on training, the rest of the world is gripped by panic. News reports are dominated by the 505 Polum, a massive, unidentified object entering Earth's atmosphere. In the midst of this global tension, 81 is summoned to the commander's office. The verdict is grim. "Go home, 81. You're being washed out." The brass doesn't doubt his strength, but they fear his mind is damaged goods. He's antisocial, he can't sleep without pills, and he's a liability. They push a contract in front of him, asking him to resign voluntarily. 81's response is a wall of granite. He refuses to sign. He stands tall and tells the sergeant, "I will be preparing for the final parade." Despite the sergeant's fury, 81's sheer tenacity wins him one last chance. He is allowed to participate in the death march. The final mission objective is clear: infiltrate enemy territory, rescue a downed pilot, and destroy the wreckage of the plane using C4. 81 is given command. As they board the chopper, he looks at his team, a group of exhausted but determined men. 24 hours, he tells them. No one gets left behind. Under the cover of night, the team moves through the dense forest. Suddenly, the woods go quiet. Not a bird, not a cricket. They spot what looks like a secret weapon in a clearing, and simultaneously, all radio signals go dead. They are blind and deaf in the dark. They find the aircraft and begin rigging it with C4. However, 81's instincts scream that something is wrong. He notices a strange pulsing light in the distance. He investigates and finds the actual downed plane a few hundred yards away. He realizes with horror, "We're bombing the wrong target!" Before he can stop the countdown. Boom. The C4 detonates on the unidentified vehicle. But instead of shattering, the object absorbs the blast. The metal begins to groan and shift. It transforms, unfolding into a towering, multi-legged alien war machine. It's like a transformer born from a nightmare. The machine's eye sweeps the area with a clinical blue laser. It's scanning them. Within seconds, the machine begins to fire with terrifying precision. One shot, one kill. It isn't a fight, it's an execution. 81 manages to pull one teammate from the line of fire just as they are forced to leap off a massive cliff to escape the onslaught. The team is shattered, wanders through the woods, finding the body of Candidate 111. His compass is spinning wildly, reacting to the machine's electromagnetic field. Every time the needle goes crazy, the machine is near. They regroup in a nearby village, but there's nothing left but ash. Here, they find their sergeant, pinned under a mass of twisted metal, dying. In his final moments, the truth comes out. 81 confesses the secret he's carried for 2 years. He didn't carry his brother 16 kilometers. He had passed out only 100 yards away from the base. His brother was still alive then, calling his name. But 81 was too broken to move. The Silver Star wasn't a badge of honor. It was a brand of failure. He has been running ever since. The machine returns, relentless. The team tries to flee in a scavenged military vehicle, but in the chaos, they've forgotten the ammunition. The chase ends with their vehicle tumbling into a ravine. 1-8 wakes up from the crash to a hellish sight. The machine is using its thermal lasers to incinerate the remaining survivors. Among the chaos, he finds 7, a fellow candidate who managed to survive the initial blast. 7 tells 81 that he knew his brother, that his brother believed in 81 until the very end. This sparks something in 81. He realizes the machine has a weakness, its cooling vents. Every time it fires or moves at high speed, the vents open to release massive amounts of heat. 81 lures the machine toward a construction storage area. He rigs a series of explosives, but the machine is too fast. In a moment of pure desperation and Lodi energy, 81 hops into a massive excavator. What follows is a David versus Goliath battle of heavy machinery. 81 uses the excavator's arm to grapple the alien machine, dragging it toward the edge of a cliff. Blinded by the dust, the machine's sensors struggle. 81 forced the excavator's bucket over the machine's vents, jamming them with sand and debris. The alien system begins to redline. The internal temperature skyrockets until the war machine suffers a catastrophic core meltdown. Kaboom! The shockwave sends 81 flying, but the threat is neutralized. Hours later, the sound of rotors fills the air. Search and rescue helicopters arrive to find 81, battered and bleeding, carrying 7 on his back across the finish line. He finally finished the carry he couldn't complete 2 years ago. He did it for his brother. Back at the base, the news is grim. The 505 Polum wasn't just one ship. Thousands of these machines have landed across the globe. But thanks to 81's tactical discovery, humanity now has a blueprint for how to kill them. In the final scene, the candidate is gone. Commander 81 stands on a raised platform, overlooking a sea of thousands of soldiers. He doesn't give a speech about medals or glory. He talks about survival. He talks about his brother. As the army begins its march to take back the planet, 81 leads the charge. The war has